Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. Today we're going to be taking a look at these. These are a pair of LED chopsticks. They come from a brand called Voraca, and this particular pair is in white LED. However, they do come in the color options as follows. Again, these will be the LED colors you can get: green, red, blue, yellow, pink, purple, orange, and of course what we have here, white. So as you can pretty much guess, the LED is going to be housed in here, and it's going to shoot that light down this chopstick. Alright, so the material is ABS, so we have plastics. I'm assuming the chopstick is probably maybe like an acrylic or whatnot, but anyway, it has listed ABS plastic. Dimensions for this are 26 centimeters long, and then 1 centimeter wide and 1 centimeter thick. So there. And of course the 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter is measured up here at the head of the chopstick by the LED module. Alright, so these are powered by included batteries. You can replace the batteries if you choose to do so or need to. Each chopstick uses 3 LR41 button batteries. And you can see here they did include the battery blocker, so the batteries that they included hopefully will not be dead upon me trying them out for the first time. So normally this is the time when we take a look around the package, but as you can see, there is no packaging to really mention except the bag that holds them together. And one other spec I forgot to mention, these together are 33 grams. Alright, so there's a little adhesive here that kept this flap closed. Okay, there we are. Put one here. Let me zoom in. Alright, so here we are, top end. We have the button up here, which is quite obvious. I'm assuming this is where you dig in your nail to pull open the battery drawer. Of course, we have the battery blocker, which we saw earlier. Okay. There's the chopstick portion. It's actually pretty clear. I'm looking at it from the top here, and so far I don't see any inclusions or fogginess, haze in there, so that's good. Alright, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull out the battery blocker, but before I actually try to activate it, that came out real easy, I'm going to actually go ahead and open the battery door and see what we're dealing with inside there. So, yep, so that is for your thumbnail right there. This door lifts open, and we can have a look inside. So there they are. 3 batteries are in fact in there. You can see leading down to the LED. Alright, let's get that door shut. Alright, so here's the balance point. But again, the back is going to be heavier because that's where all the batteries and whatnot are. So there it is. Now to give you some reference, I'll compare that to a chopstick that isn't LED, more of a normal chopstick. Alright, there you go. That's your standard disposable chopstick that you may get at like the restaurant. And now let's try a fancier chopstick. And there again you can see. So no doubt the LED chopsticks are way weight heavy towards the top. Alright, so here's what it looks like when you're holding them and using them. Okay, so yeah, they feel a little fatter than my normal chopsticks, or either of the other two I just showed you, the metal or the wood one. But after holding them for just a little bit, you get used to that slight increase, or maybe somewhat noticeable increase in diameter. And also you're going to probably want to hold them on higher because you want to get more of that weight close to your hand. But yeah, for just holding them for a couple minutes here, I'm already getting used to them. So, okay. Here I want to give a length comparison. So on top we have your disposable chopstick, wood, and I lined them up even at the top, excluding the button for the LED chopstick. So if we go across, so yes, these are a bit longer than your normal chopstick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and test it out. I'm going to go ahead and push the button up top and activate the chopstick. Wow. So yes, it's quite bright. If you notice, it's lighting up the floor over there, even projecting some on the door. So yeah, and of course this plastic material here kind of, it acts as a light diffuser too, so we're not just getting light coming out the front, but instead it's radiating outward from the shaft of the chopstick, making it look actually quite cooler than I thought it would. And by the way, if you want to know why I got the white instead of the other colors, is I wanted to get the brightest one possible, and hence went with the white. Okay, and to turn it off, just push the button again, and there we go. Alright, so now that we know that they do in fact light up, let's take a moment to cover the other considerations when using these. So here, let's first talk about these large heads here. Comparing this to my kind of thin metal chopstick, you can see there's considerable, these are fatter up top. And because of that, when you go to open up wide and pick up something large on this end, these ends come into contact and you're going to get more interference of these knocking together. It's not a huge thing, but it's something to keep in mind. Next, let's talk about the actual stick portion here. Although it's, I guess, rigid to some extent, it isn't all that rigid. So if you want, this can be bent. Okay, now let's move on to the third thing, and that has to do with washing this. You will have to hand wash this and be careful while you clean them. Also, a point, you do not want to use like a scrubbing sponge on this surface here that I'm touching, because if you scratch it, it's not going to look as nice and clear, and hence it won't light up as well. Alright, so let's talk about balance. This bowl here, empty, and I want to show you something. So here are my metal chopsticks, right? I can just rest them in there like so. Now let's try the exact same thing with these. Yeah, so yes, that's one thing you'll have to keep in mind. Yes, if there's something in the bowl, you can kind of anchor the ends by kind of sticking them underneath, like the noodles or whatever, and that'll hold them in. But just realize on their own, they will fall out of the bowl, as you just saw. Alright, so before we get to the conclusion, I just wanted to go over a quick disclaimer on my use of this item, and that's to say that I've used these basically just long enough to do this review, so I can't speak to how many months of use you'll get out of them before something goes wrong. Now, let's first talk about battery life. Of course, that determines on how long you use the glow feature for, and what quality batteries you use. Alright, now let's talk about durability. These don't feel super durable, I'll just say that. They're also not going to break by just holding them, but again, I would be relatively gentle while using these, within reason, of course. So for example, this plastic here, if you drop this on the concrete, there's a chance this is going to crack. Pretty good chance, actually. The button, although I haven't really experienced any problem using it, I wouldn't turn it on by doing one of these, pounding it on the table, because I can see that button giving way. It doesn't look super reinforced or anything like that within the housing here. Alright, so in conclusion, would I recommend these? Yes, but only for certain occasions. I think these are a novelty first and a tool second, and I can see these being great for something like a gender reveal party, or maybe your company's having some big promotional event. You could get these to match the colors of your corporate logo. After all, you can use two different colors at the same time, right? But as far as eating, I would definitely pick up a pair of metal chopsticks such as these, or even just use the one-time use wood ones.